We respectfully request the Sangha of great virtues, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tịnh thuyết diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sananto Suchero Ye Alahadi Samyao Samputo Xie. Nam mô Tathagata Toya Daya Alahade Tamyo Tambo Datoa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom and thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jian wen de shou chi, yuan jie ru lai zhen shi yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Great Master Qingliang, Great Master YongHua, all good advisors, all left-home people, all good advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、清凉大士、师父上人、各位持戒人、各位善知识，弥陀佛。 Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, Hòa thượng Thiên Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị đệ trí thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, thank you for coming. Today is the 24th of October. Today is a very, very auspicious day. We're starting chapter 1 of the Avatamsaka Sutra. So we're going to the text proper. I'm so glad you're here. You're the reason why we have a chance to do this. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Why do we do chapter 1? We do chapter 1 is because it gives you it's a lot of preliminary information about the general overview of the entire sutra itself. We should go through it. And then we start chapter 1 because it's, to me, it's very interesting. When I first read about chapter 1 years ago, it was not finished, a completed translation. So it was rather spotty. But now as I prepared, this is about 25 years ago. Now that I prepared this chapter 1 a few months ago, that's all the time I have to prepare. I'm so sorry. Usually people, take a long time to prepare in advance. But I found this chapter 1 interesting. It's at first it's kind of scary because you have all these names of these God kings and ghost kings and spirit kings and so forth. And It's kind of interesting for two reasons. We are able to hear of these great names, of these great beings, and number two, these are accomplished. They are accomplished cultivators. They are very important personalities in the universe. And the interesting thing to me, as I went through, haven't finished chapter 1 yet, but I got quite a good chunk of it. What dawned on me is that how fascinating the universe really is. We are so worried about, politics, Republicans, Democrats, and independents, and California versus Texas and Florida and so forth. Okay, and you realize how the world is really structured. Our world is very well structured. The reason we have California is because there's a government in place, and there is the Defense Department on top of it, and so forth. The world, the universe is that way too. Think about it. Hey, how are you? The universe is that way too. It's so well structured. Otherwise, would be total chaos. Okay. Do you see why these beings are so important? Because they keep everything in place. Even our small world, it has the sound world, also has all these beings who came to attend Shakyamuni Buddha's explanation of this Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay, so that in itself is kind of a treat to see all these people. So you see like Defense Department and Homeland Security and all those things. And amazingly, for example, mountains also have rulers. Mountains are governed as well. So I was driving several years ago for closer to up north, and as my driver is driving me, okay, my Dharma protector's guide was driving me. So I was driving through, and we were talking a little bit, and then there's a stretch where we didn't talk, and I realized, wow, we crossing boundaries where actually there's territories where you as you drive through on the freeway, you see that there are different types of territories. Some are friendly towards you. They go out there and they, it's like President Clinton, who went to Vietnam in 1984, whatever, before he left office. Remember? Before he left office, he went on a world tour, Vietnam and Japan, Taiwan, and have a good time. Okay, and so we went to Vietnam, and we were told on the TV, on the TV there, the news report, that the Vietnamese were lining up the streets, waving the American flag and Vietnam. So it's all staged, of course. Okay. So it's a similar kind of thing. I went some territories where it actually came out and said, yeah. And then some other. So the world is very fascinating, let me tell you. Okay, so we're jumping into the text now, and no longer theory in the prologue, but actually these are the actual teachings that the Buddha gave to the Bodhisattvas after he first became a Buddha. All right? So let's go into it. So the full title is Great Means Expensive Buddha Flower Adornment Sutra. So what does it do? This is a sutra that describes the phenomena, the marks of the universe. Okay, while mankind and our scientists are still sending satellites and things and probes into deep space, what they call deep space is like this galaxy. Okay, this galaxy is one of countless galaxies in the universe. You know that. And so this sutra here describes the characteristics of the universe that only the Buddha can see. Okay, it's quite a treat when you think about that. Okay, that universe there is actually the manifestation from the true mind. Okay, so you have this sutra here is about the most profound principles, or in Buddhism, technical jargon is nominon. Nominon is principles. Mathematicians call theory. Okay, the theorems. Okay, phenomenon. Okay, is mathematical would be application or instance. Okay, so the phenomenon is the principle behind things that you observe. So the Buddha is so wise, has so much wisdom. They take a look at, for example, anything. You point out anything, and you can see. And the Buddha says, there's a principle behind it. Okay? He doesn't need to go to math school, or mathematical, get a math degree. He explain to you why this TV happens that way. And the mathematicians say, using applied math, we explain to you there's the theorem here, and then you use it to map all the points on the OLED screen. Okay, the Buddha says, he knows it all. Okay, so that's what's great about this sutra is that it gives us the Buddha's wisdom. Okay, and the only sutra of its kind, okay, that gives us the description of the universe, which is a reflection, is a manifestation of our true mind, your mind and my mind, all our minds. All right, so the sutra is very, very profound, and unfortunately, I don't think we have time to explain the entire sutras for you. The Chinese version has around 40 chapters, and Master Shenhua took him 9 years explaining the sutra like 5 times a day. At some point in time, he explained it 5 sessions a day, so it's 10 hours, close to 10 hours of sutra lectures. In order to finish, he started like 1 and 2 per day, and then pretty soon he realized, if I want to finish it, I better go faster. So, and it's incredible. He explained the sutra, the entire sutra. Okay, my purpose of explaining the sutra is to share with you and learn with you as well about this wonderful thing, this wonderful Buddha wisdom. I myself, when I read it 20 years ago, I couldn't get anything. It's too much for me. But I made sure that I read everything, just a word. Speed reading of you. And now, 20 years later, maybe the seeds are sprouting. So that's why now I read it, and it seems to get a little bit more than before. Okay? And in this sutra, you learn about the substance. Substance is about your makeup, your DNA, if you will, our DNA. Okay, the marks are these are jargons you should need that only Mahayana would have them. Marks is a concept of Mahayana. Marks means things, the characteristics that you can observe through your sense organs. They're marks. For example, the form, the shape of things, the smell of things, okay, and so forth. Functionality. Functionality is that everything that you happen to see is there for a reason. That's how profound the Buddha's wisdom is. He looked and said, oh, that's why you have a wound body right now and you're sitting here. There's a reason for it. And the Buddha sees it so clearly. He sees it and he can backtrack all the way. Okay? So functionality, think about it. Everything happens for a reason, in other words. That's why today we have a spy number 1 who came from, the other side of the railroad tracks doing her spying thing. There's a reason for it. You see? So it's fascinating to me that if you understand there's a reason for it, okay, then you can relax. Why would someone yell at you? Why would someone try to cheat you? There's a reason for it. It's a real logical explanation for it. Why she sabotages you constantly. The reason for it. Okay? So that's functionality. Interesting? And then cause and effect, of course. The universal law that applies to everything. Okay? 3. So go through the title here briefly. Great. Okay? All-encompassing. The great here has a connotation of inconceivable. Okay? Fantastic. Infinite nature of this universe or Dharma realm. Okay? This great here includes emptiness, and there is Avatamsaka Sutra wisdom. It says, so great that nothing is outside, and so small that nothing is inside. Okay, so that's furthermore, it's infinite. Infinite in the sense that your mind cannot possibly conceive of it. Okay, for example, even the infinity, as the mathematicians dream of it, conceive of it, actually is still not infinite yet under the Buddha's eyes. All right? Great is all-encompassing. Nothing is left out. What is included in there? The 10 Dharma realms that are the planes of existence that you'll find in this universe. You can classify all living beings as belonging to 10 different realms. What are they? The hells, where someone I know is rotting there right now. Number 2, hungry ghosts. Okay, the people who are behind us on the altar, in the yellow plaques right there, are in the ghost realm, but they're not hungry. Family members, do not panic. They're doing very well. They're well-fed and very comfortable. Okay, but the typical hungry ghosts are very thirsty for millions of years, and they are hungry for a long, long time. And they also realm of the animals, your dogs, your cats, the whales, the dragons, the snakes, the rats, all those. Okay, there's a reason why they're there. In Buddhism, we can explain to you what you're doing now that will eventually bring you there to one of these realms, especially animal realms. Okay, and there's also a realm of the asuras. These are people who like to fight. There's a special group of beings. They are very like to quarrel with you, like pick fights with you in a human realm as well. our temple has a lot of human asuras. Look around you. Chances are that 2 out of 3 is half human, half asura. Look around you. Okay, I assure you. My Sangha is 90% asuras. Okay, I'm an asura. That's why only I can handle those asuras. They cannot be more asura than I am. You like to pick a fight? Oh, bring it on. Humans, okay. This human here thinks they are the master of the universe, but no. Well, actually, the humans are governed, are ruled by the gods. Okay. For example, I remember a story Master YongHua told in his sutra. He says, in China, there's a merchant who in a Chinese village, and he was walking down the street, and he was struck by lightning, and he died. Okay, and so when they found his body, I'm sure some of you still remember this. They found on his back some sort of, it looks like Chinese characters, Chinese writing, but they can't make sense out of it. Okay, so they removed the clothes on his back and lying his flat on, lying on his face down. They saw this. It looks like Chinese writing, but it doesn't quite, not quite complete. So they were wondering, what does it mean? Is there a message from heaven or something? And so somebody, some wise Chinese guy, walked over, picked up a calligraphy pen, okay, dipped it in black ink, and drew a line right down the spine. And then they all became Chinese characters. The message is that this man is a thief. He happened to be a merchant selling rice. Okay, he's very wealthy merchant selling rice. And what he did consistently is, back then when you sell rice, the people would bring a container over to you, and then you pour the rice in, and then you measure it, and then you pay and you leave, right? So what he does is that his rice, he would soak some of his rice in water so that's heavier. That's how he made a fortune selling to these stupid Chinese people, villagers. Okay, and the heavens were so upset with him. It's so unconscionable way to take advantage of poor people. So the gods got heavy and got upset. So they sent a lightning to strike him, to kill him as punishment. That's a proof right there to the Chinese. Master YongHua says, a proof right there that heavens watch over us. Don't you think we can get away with it? We rule by heavens. Another example, on the 15th day of the lunar year, of the lunar month, okay, and the 30th day of the lunar month, okay, the Chinese Buddhists are very clever. They all eat vegetarian, and they behave themselves. Why? Master YongHua explained. On the 30th day, last day of lunar month, Daniel's boss, you know who you're referring to, right? That Daniel. Okay, Daniel's boss would make his rounds. He would go from the heavens, which is heaven is 33. He hops on his chariot, okay, heavenly chariot, It would go down, travels down from the top of Mount Sumeru. It travels down, okay, to the human realm to make his tour, to do his inspection. Okay, so that the Chinese Buddhists knew better, so they would behave themselves. They're obedient. Daughters are obedient to the mother. Sons are polite to their fathers and so forth, because they knew, because the God would come around and they inspect you, and they would write on a note. Okay, and this is what King Yama will see when you die. He'll decide on where you're gonna go. Okay, so that's why the Chinese Buddhists are very clever. They eat vegetarian, and they don't go to opium dens and so forth. Okay, they stop for one day. How about the 15th day of lunar month? And this is why, by the way, why the Asians still observe the lunar month. You see, we don't have any use for them, but the Asians, the Chinese, say, you guys don't know, don't know better, do you? So on the 5th day, the God, the Christian God, is too busy, so he sends. Oh yeah, go ahead, Q&A.
Thank you, Master. I was told that with science, on the 15th day is the day that the fish and animal in the sea are pregnant and about to have hatch their baby. So if you eat fish and stuff on that day, then instead of killing one animal, you kill a lot more.
What happens when you eat animals? I didn't know about this. We better learn.
With science, they say that the backup that with fish, they are pregnant and have a lot of baby inside. So if you eat the fish on the 15th day, then you kill more animal, because some of them can be pregnant and with a lot of egg inside.
How interesting. What about beluga whales, beluga caviar? Can we
That
eat it?
I don't know, Master. Yeah.
Okay.
We have to read some more to find out.
So no caviar on the 15th. Okay. That helps. Thank you, honey. Yes, Q&A. Good Lord, you learned so much. Amazing. Huh? No caviar. Not for me anymore. That's it? Okay, very good. So on the 15th day, also besides the fish and the games, the Christian God, the God King of the heaven of 33, would send his what? Crown Prince. Okay, his successor, to make the rounds for him. So then the Crown Prince would make the rounds, and then make a full report to the God, heavenly God. Okay, so that's why the point here is that do not think that you are above the law. Even if you're president or premier or whatever, you still are accountable to the heavenly beings. Okay, where we are. All right. Realm number 7. Now, 7 through 10 are the realms of the sages. Okay, these are the realms are beyond the control of King Yama. Okay, so these are sages. Sages are, if you are an Arhat, and King Yama, who is governs the underworld, the netherworld, when he sees you, he's supposed to stand up and bow to you. Okay, because King Yama is a sage, so he recognizes that the sages are deserve respect and so forth. So Arhats are the first level of significant wisdom in Mahayana, and these Arhats are beyond birth and death, meaning they can live as long as they want. Or can die anytime they wish. Okay, and So that's from the wisdom. And the next level wisdom, higher than arhats, is a Pratyeka Buddha. The arhat practices the Four Noble Truths as a major Dharma door to reach a level of wisdom. Next level, higher level wisdom is a 12 condition links, Dharma door for the Pratyeka Buddhas. Okay, and next level higher are the Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas, unlike the arhats, unlike the Pratyeka Buddhas, they are everywhere. Chances are that some of you are bodhisattvas. Okay? Very high chances some of you are bodhisattvas. It's not me, that's for sure. Okay? Or ahong. You can tell because they ask the wrong questions. All right. So the bodhisattvas are all over, not just the human realm, not just temples. They are in churches, they're in synagogues, and they are everywhere. Okay, very busy. Bodhisattva is extremely busy, working their butts off to help living beings. That's why they're bodhisattvas. Okay, and of course, and the last ones are the realm of the Buddhas, which is beyond my comprehension. All right, 5. Great means. Second word, 大方, fang is means. Means refers to unchanging, nominal principle of the Dharma realm. This Dharma realm here is unchanging. It means refers to methods. And in Buddhism, we have 84,000 Dharma doors for you to attain liberation, to find true happiness. Okay, and in each galaxy, each world, we have different types of Dharma doors as well. Okay, for example, in our sound world, okay. Most of our Dharma doors, our methods of practices are based on the sound. Okay, so if you, the better ones, the more effective ones for you, for us, are based on the sound, on the hearing. Okay, your hearing organs. And some other worlds out there, in some Buddha lands, okay, they may be based on the food, yeah, the food you eat, the taste, your taste organ. Yes, go ahead too.
This is from Vicky. Regarding number 7, are you talking about only 4-stage arhats or all arhats?
For arhats?
4-stage arhats or all arhats?
For arhats, it's only referred to 4-stage arhats because below 4-stage arhat, they are not called stages. What's the difference? Below 4-stage arhats, you still have to go through king yama after you die. Okay, it's a frightening experience. It's not cool. It's like, I liken it to go and see your dentist. Scary. When you sit in dentist, and as soon as you open wide, and immediately I tense up. I don't care. I could be meditating for 10 hours beforehand to calm myself down. But I sat down on that chair. I've been going to see my dentist recently. Let me tell you, it's no fun. And I said, I talked to my dentist and I said, it's so strange because I go through my day, I rarely find myself being tense at all. I don't get it. Why am I so tense here? And you're so good, you're so fast, and you're so gentle. But why am I so tense? It's just the whole experience is frightening to me. And this big needle, they thrust in your face. Okay, so each Dharma door has its own each world has its own preferences, and for sages, see, this is the standard of Mahayana. Sages, meaning that you have control over your life and death. If you don't have control over your life and over your death, then you're not a sage. You're confused. You're but a victim of life and death. All right? Next. Expansive refers to unobstructed functionality that pervades the Dharma realm, meaning that this Buddha here, this sutra here, explains why things are used or manifest, and these rules here are applicable to the entire Dharma realm. All right? So in overall, great means it refers to the height and the depth. So vertical direction. Expansive refers to the breadth. So it covers, the dimensions. And back then you can tell the Chinese only get, 2 dimensions. In mathematics we have n dimensions. Okay. Anyway, 7. Buddha. Buddha is our goal. Okay. Buddha is who you will be. The mere fact you're here today, and you're listening to this sutra lecture, you planted the seeds of Buddhahood. Not only any kind of seeds, one of the best kind of seeds available. Okay, premium seeds, if you will. Okay, and why would you want to become a Buddha? Become a Buddha because you have awakened from your confusion. Okay, you're confused. You don't even know. And this Buddha here says he's awakened from his confusion. Okay, and then this Buddha here also special because he's so much more than a Bodhisattva in terms of enlightenment. Okay, it's complete enlightenment. Okay, so it's nothing left to work on. Okay, Bodhisattvas still have a lot of work to do. Okay, so that's why they're all working their butts off everywhere in the universe, hoping to eradicate their own confusions. Okay, and this Buddha here it closes circles. You start in a journey, and finally you close a circle, and you go back to originally you're an enlightened being, and then you have this thought of confusion, and you travel through this wheel reincarnation, and then eventually you meet with the Mahayana, and then eventually you practice, and you go back to your original source. Okay, so completes the circle. And you go home, okay, where you belong. In other words, you're destined to become a Buddha yourself, guaranteed. Okay, that's what the Buddha said. The guarantee doesn't come from me. The guarantee comes from me. Run and go somewhere else. Okay, flower adornment sutra. Flower here refers to the result when you practice the 10 Bodhisattva practices or the 10 paramitas. All the Bodhisattva practices can be classified into 10 different paramitas, okay? And it's very important for you. All these words before, it's okay, but it's very important for you, if you're interested in Mahayana at all, you have to memorize these 10 paramitas. These are anything you practice, whether it's meditation, reciting Buddha's name, or becoming a Christian, okay, receiving, what was that they call it in order to become Christian? Communion? Baptized, thank you. Catholic, that's Catholic, not Christian. You're baptized and so forth. All that can be classified as belonging to one of these 10 things, believe it or not. Even if you're a Taoist, you believe in practicing those Taoist practices, even the Taoist practices also belong to these 10 practices. For example, in our temple, I usually start by teaching you meditation and so forth. When you reach a certain level where you have, it's very hard to confuse you. Or if you're confused, I could point out to you and say, you're right. That was so stupid of me. Okay? So you have what that's called a little bit of wisdom. Wisdom is when you make a mistake and someone points it out to you, you say, you're right. I was so wrong. And that's wisdom. Wisdom is not like you're perfect. If you're perfect, you're a Buddha. Okay? If you're not a Buddha yet, you screw up. I don't care who you are. You could be a Bodhisattva, you could be Master YongHua, and so forth. We all screw up. Sound familiar? Every day. We make mistakes. That's part of life. Okay? There's a reason for it, okay? As well. But how did I get here again? What's the point again? And so, even if you practice these externalist practices, whether you're a Taoist or you're Catholic and so forth, you still belong to these 10 practices, these 10 types of spiritual practices, if you will. That's how all-encompassing this Buddhism is. Okay. So that's why people say, let's go try to convert, the Christian. Okay. I say, what for? They're already Buddhist. The reason the Christians try to convert me, because they don't see me as as Christian. That's why they try to convert me everywhere I go. But we don't convert them because we know they're practicing Buddhism already. How is that? Hi, Kim? Huh? Half and half. For her, it's half and half. Some days. Yes, 8.
Yes, Master. Could you explain a little more the paramita of power?
Okay. We can go into these later. Power is then, it's towards the high end. It's a high-level bodhisattvas who would then specialize in practicing power here because they need to do more, if you will. Okay. Actually, there's a time where you need to do a lot more. You have more power. So this part of the practice is to let's say pumping iron, for example. Okay. So anyway, I was saying that when you reach a certain point where in Buddhism, wisdom is that's a Dharma glimpse, isn't it? Wisdom in Buddhism is to be able to recognize you're wrong. Whereas confused people, when you tell them they're confused, they get upset. So, why do you keep insulting me? You know what I mean? What did I do to you? Today, that's why I was telling, some of my disciples next to me and said, why are you talking? Why are you so mean to me? See, that's wisdom. So my disciples, when I reach a certain level, where then we let them, practice, become Catholic and Jewish and so forth, and do yoga and so forth. And then because we're not afraid that we converted at all. Yes? Do you have a question? Yes, 9.
Earlier, before this one, there were 9 or 10 stages or different kinds of realms. And then I thought I belonged to human, but there is a hell, animal, and then asuras, and then those different realms.
Right.
So as a human being, am I doing this kind of 10 practices to go higher level, or to become a Buddha? What is the means?
Good question. These 10 paramitas are the types of things that you do, practices you do, when you decide to officially practice the conduct of a bodhisattva, meaning to help living beings. Forsake yourself to help others, if you will. 9.
That means that is within humans' realm, right?
Not just human realm, actually it's everywhere. Because bodhisattvas are everywhere.
Everywhere.
They're cockroaches.
Okay. So
Rats in LA, some of them are bodhisattvas.
So as a human being, I can see some of the animal realms, and also, more than that, for example, like godly behaviors of other people. Mm-hmm. I perceive those things as a human being. Right. And then, so I thought that is within my understanding of human being to reach higher level or go down. Is that correct way to understand?
So when you do, for example, practice giving, okay? Giving depending on your level, depending on where you are. The giving is to make sacrifices, you will. Can we summarize it? Simplify it as to make sacrifices. You take losses. You can't give and gain. You can't give $1 and expect to. How do you gain when you give $1? Okay? So when you give, it's a practice of making sacrifices. Okay? And so when any being makes sacrifices, makes some sort of sacrifices, that's the practice of giving. Doesn't matter, it could be human, could be an animal, like a bird, hungry, but he feeds the worm to his babies because the babies are hungry. Okay, that's an act of giving. So animals too practice giving as well. All right? So this act of giving here will help you become less selfish, less self-centered, because you think less of yourself. Okay? You give yourself instead of...
So that is number 1, giving. That's one of the...
Right. Okay. Since you don't come here often, let me go through it quickly for her because she's curious. Can we do that, or you rather not? Okay, we can spend a lot of time on this, so don't worry. It depends on time constraints and the people in the audience. We can elaborate, up and down, as much or as little as possible. So giving is about taking losses in order to benefit others. So you put others above you. You take their welfare. Put their welfare before ours. Okay, and you see, so it's not reserved for the Buddhists. Look at all the many Catholic and Christians who would go to poor countries and spend their entire lives. I'm so impressed when I read some time ago. I'm sorry to digress here, but it's a story that really, really impressed me so much a few years ago when I heard about this. In Vietnam, okay, before even in a long time ago, okay, in Vietnam, they told me the story of a Catholic father, French Catholic father, okay, who volunteered to leave France to go to Vietnam. To do what? He would go to the mountain, okay, where the lepers live. Because back then, there's no cure for lepers, and lepers are scary people. So society rejects them. So the only place that could be at peace is to get together and move to the mountain and form a colony by themselves. Okay? This father here, French, tall and handsome, Frenchman, okay, from a good family, decided to be a priest. And he volunteered to go to Vietnam to help the Vietnamese. What kind of Vietnamese? He chose to go to that mountain and that lepers colony. And he spent his entire life improving the colony, building buildings, asking for donations from France to build more things, to feed them, to clothe them, and so forth. Got some poor, naive French woman to come become a nun. Okay? And so these people, these beautiful Catholic people, French Catholic people, and Vietnamese and so forth, okay, they went there and they devoted their entire lives to serve the lepers. Their entire lives. I was so touched when I heard that. I mean, what's the matter with you? Okay? And then, in the end, what happens? You know? You know what happened? In the end, he became a leper himself and died. I was so impressed. I said, wow, I wish the Buddhists can be like this. I can't think of any Buddhist would be stupid enough to do that. Would you? And you think you're so cool, you're so hot. The Catholics even better than us. Why? It's a Bodhisattva. Who else? We like to think. You know what I mean? Only Bodhisattva would do stupid things like that. So that goes to prove, folks, there is plenty of bodhisattvas over there, half of Haikim's world. Okay? Because if there's a chance to help, the bodhisattva will come and help and take losses and losses and losses. Okay? Number 2, precepts. Morality, do the right things. Okay? Don't harm others. Don't steal from others. Don't lie to them. Don't con them. Okay? That's a bodhisattva practice. Patience. Patience is when you're abused. You bear it. Hello there. Sorry.
Master, there is a question from JMT.
You're not working? Oh, sorry. It's so many. Yeah, go ahead, JMT. Yeah.
마스터 들리세요? 아, 네. 제가 아까 질문했는데 마스터의 법문의 흐름을 깨서 있어 죄송하고 제가 드리고 싶은 질문은 다른 사람을 는 문제는 안 되는데 저한테는 어떤 문제가 있냐면 다른 사람을 도우는데 나의 도움으로 인해서 사람이 나보다 더 잘 되는 거는 제가 참기가 어려울 것 같아서 남을 돕는 것이 좀 주저가 되는데 이것에 대해서 마스터께 질문드리고 싶습니다.
It sounds like she's making apologies. She's apologizing already. No?
사과는
I heard it
미국에서
wrong?
할 거예요. 마스터, 제가 미국에 가서 공개 참여를 할 것입니다.
More apologies? See you next month?
Yes.
Translation. Okay.
Master, when I get to America, I'm going to apologize in public.
How do I know?
But Master, she had questions prior to that.
You know why I knew it was an apology? Because when she was here the last time, before she wanted to make an apology, she was about to cry. She cried, and then she said, I want to apologize, and she cried. That's how she's, I can tell she's about to cry. That's why, are you making apologies again? Just kidding, go ahead. One.
Master, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your Dharma talk, but I have a problem. I have a question about helping others and also resolving my problems. But if I help others and they become better than me, I think about that situation and I hesitate to help others.
I'm sorry, let me turn on my... One more time. While I think about the answer.
교연 설명. 네.
Repeat, please.
잠깐만 기다려주세요. 질문을 다시 하라고 했습니다.
예를
No. The
마스터
translation. No, don't make her repeat.
다시 한번 얘기하지 마시고 지금 번역을 다시 하겠습니다. 통역을 다시 하겠습니다. So helping others can be a problem. The problem is if I help others and then by helping them, they become better than me. I hesitate to help them. Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me, Master?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm thinking. Can I think and hear at the same time? So demanding. So what's the question again? I can't think of the answer. Could you mind repeating, please? I'm kidding. So she's trying to help. When she helps others, they can become better than she is. Then she has a problem. She doesn't want to help them. Okay? Then don't help them. So what's the big deal? Don't help them so that you be better. So easy. Why even bother asking me? Yes, 8. 8 has a better solution.
I perceive that as a blessing in disguise if the person you choose to help.
Explain, please. No riddles.
The person that you help
Becomes better than
is
you.
enhanced and becomes better than you in some field. You should be happy that you spent the time and effort to assist that person. So it is a blessing.
What if the person does not appreciate it?
I don't know if I have an answer for that. That's interesting. I think you have to just...
You never helped anyone before, clearly.
You've always said, just offer the merit or the blessing and walk away. Don't look back. Don't look for a pat on your shoulder. Just walk away
Excellent.
from it.
Excellent. Because she keeps on looking. She helps someone and say, oh, now I look at you, you're better than me. So she should have done what I preach. I say, just help and then don't look anymore. Yes? And that's the answer. Anyone else has a better solution for this woman here who feels that she can help, she's glad to help, but with the condition that you cannot be better than her? Yes, 9.
I think there are different kinds of help. If it is more of work-related information sharing, then the wisdom comes how much you're gonna convey, or how should I say, reveal the information to another person. Like for example, within workplace or something like that, you wanna know where the boundaries and then do it. So that's more of a wisdom-based help. The other one is helping others in life. You want to help as many people as possible. So you don't want to restrain yourself from that kind of help. Because I think it'll come back to you, with many force. After all, in that term, you're going to need patience. So it's a multiple disciplinary actions, I think.
Very good. Anyone else? You're beating around the bush. Here's what she really means. Can I paraphrase a question for you? What she says is that, what she really means is that, I'm concubine number 1. I'd be glad to help concubine number 2, number 3, as long as still number 1. Is that right? She says, no.
I'm the concubine.
No concubine. Okay, anyone else? Help her out. Suppose she's not concubine. She insists on being number 1. Yes, 2.
Catholic Daniel said, if the person does not appreciate, it is still okay. If they become better than you, it's perfect. Learn to take losses. When I train someone at work, I'm hoping they become better than me so they can assist other people.
There's some wisdom there, some Catholic wisdom there. Is it Christian wisdom? More like Christian wisdom, isn't it? Very good. Excellent. Okay, anyone else? That's good wisdom there. Very good. So this guy's been helping people and he suffers so much. Say, okay, I can't take this, but I hope he gets better. He's okay. Fooling himself. 7.
Mô Phật bà thầy, giống bây giờ mình giúp người ta thì người ta khá giả, thì người ta lại khinh khi mình, thì mình nghĩ mình trả nợ cái người đó, mình mắc nợ cái người đó, rồi bây giờ mình trả nợ, rồi bây giờ cái người đó có ăn có mặc có sung sướng này kia, nó trở lại khinh mình thì mình cũng phải chịu. Cái này là mình kiếp trước mình mắc nợ nó, kiếp này mình phải trả nợ như vậy. Mô Phật.
So, Master, when I help a person and then the person get better, become wealthier or whatever, and then that person look down on me, I will think that because I owe that person in the past life, so now I pay them back.
Okay, very good. Okay. Very Hinayana. Anyone else? Help her out. Help the Korean out. This lady, a Korean lady here, is very adamant about this. I gotta be number 1. Huh? Come on, how do you help these people who insist on being number 1? Q&A. Come on, must be some Buddhist wisdom somewhere.
I think this perspective is still trying to be number 1, but if someone help become better and become better than me, it's a motivation for me to also get better.
Oh, excuse me. Anyone else? Yes, Ahung.
Master, if the help become the motivation to get better, does it mean that we're jealous of that people's success, though?
You're not helping. And 2.
Jason K said, "Don't worry, there will always be someone who is better than you."
Some kind of wisdom there, maybe Irish wisdom or something. Okay. Ju Mountain. Okay, hey, the head of Jewel Mountain Temple to the rescue. Hey, have you noticed she looks prettier and prettier? Is it my imagination or what? She does look prettier. No? I think so. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
내가 누군가를 돕는다는 생각이 전에 나는 누구로부터 먼저 도움을 받지 않았나 그 문제를 생각한다면 그 문제가 거기에 답이 있을 것 같습니다.
Master, before I try to think about helping someone, we should think about, did I receive any help from others? I think there is an answer with that question.
2.
Emily said, "I have been wishing to train someone as my backup and want them to be better than or at least up to par so they can take care of my coworkers when I leave. I also wish for my son to be better than me so he can also be useful in helping others and so I don't have to worry about him."
Midwesterners. Yes, Guru.
Master, often when I help people, I learn from them, so I improve from helping.
You guys are so boring. I can't stand this. Yes, Billy. The answer is so obvious, and you just don't get it.
Thank you, Master. I remember what Master taught us a lot of being virtuous and merry. That it's all about giving, not taking. So if I gave in and I taught, so I'm happy what I do. And I hope one day that persons that I taught or I gave, they become Bodhisattva, Buddha, become enlightened. Please come and save me.
Yeah. Very good. So I've been helping my daughter. I hope she grows up, makes a lot of money, and then takes care of me. Okay. I agree. It's good long-range planning. Excellent. Some Buddhist wisdom there. Yes, fingers.
네,
JMT, yes.
계속 돕는다라고 하니까 좀 막연한데 좀 더 직접적인 구체적인 예로 질문 드리겠습니다. 내가 만약에 학교에서 다른 친구한테 내가 가진 정보나 노트를 공유했는데 그 친구가 1등을 하고 1등 장학금을 받고 제가 2등 장학금을 받으면 기분이 나쁠 것 같고 심지어 1등 장학금을 받은 친구가 나한테 고마워하지 않는다면 정말 것 같은데 제가 남을 도움으로써 굳이 번뇌로워야 되는가가 제 질문의 포인트였습니다.
She's answering herself.
Sorry, Master, the audio is not really clear, but I will do my best. She says, when we just talk about help, it's kind of not really specific. So can I give you a specific example? For example, when I'm at school, I share my note with my classmates, but the classmate became number 1 in the class, and I became number 2.
Oh, how horrible. You're like my trying to help these monks of mine and someday to be better than me. Oh, good Lord. So you planted the seeds for your own defeat. Good. Oh, that's not wisdom in there, right? I agree with you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Give him microphone. 3.
Hello. Thưa thầy, con nghĩ là nếu mà mình không phân biệt giữa mình và người nữa, thì khi người mình giúp một ai đấy thì cũng chính là giúp mình, vì mình khi đấy người khác tiến bộ thì cũng chính là mình tiến bộ.
Master, I think like when you don't have any discrimination between yourself and others, and then so whenever you help someone, it means that you are helping yourself, and then that person improve, it means you improve yourself.
Very good. Excellent. That's a very good Buddhist answer, by the way. It's a classical answer. It has a problem. Problem is that she wants to make sure that when you improve, you cannot be better than she is. And your solution, you can be better than her. So it's not making her happy. Go ahead, Q&A. But very good answer. You see that? See the problem? She's throwing a curveball at you, and all of you are flunking this. All of you Buddhists and Catholics and Catholic Daniel in particular, cannot come up with a solution. I have a solution. I want to hear all your solutions first. Now I tell you mine. How's that? Because I have plenty of time to think about it. Q&A.
Emitofuo, Master.
I knew this guy is jumping in. That's why I'm impatiently waiting for him. Go ahead.
This is the real story happened to me. I trained a person really good. And after a while, when the economy went down, the company let me go instead of let me go. But then
better and cheaper. Better yet cheaper.
I got a much better offer that I come over here in America. So I think when you help other people sincerely, you surely accrue a lot of merit. And because you have a lot of merit, sometimes you have to go to another place because that situation is no longer.
But you still have a problem. Your trainee is still better than you, and she would not. She would not stand for that. Jumi says, "I don't care. I got to be better than her. Otherwise, I don't help." What are you going to do? See, you guys cannot make her happy. So she will not help anymore. Suppose you're a Dharma master. You sit here and someone says, someone crazy like her, he says, I'm willing to practice giving, but as long as I'm still number one, what are you going to tell her? Two.
This is from Vicky. Why are you so worried about losing your position? There's more to life than the position if you want to improve your cultivation.
Wait a minute. Okay. Please don't attack my student. 9.
I hope I'm not wrong, but I think it is not...
You're wrong already.
The help, here using as the term under help, I don't think that is the right, correct, title for that case. I think it is about reviewing what is her motivation, why she has confusion between helping and or also at the same time not helping.
You're criticizing my concubine. I mean, concubine number one, not my concubine.
Because I think like
Slip
her.
of tongue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I think like her. That's why I understand her. I want to be a number one, but so my question is, it's not about helping. I think there is a motivation behind it. Maybe go through other issues within her or within me.
That's too Christian. Anyone else? Yes, 7. Second chance.
Master, so I have a similar story as the Venerable. When I was on maternity leave, I trained somebody to replace me, and so I trained for all my knowledge to her so she can take over the position. And when I came back, she didn't want to give back my job, so I ended up being sent to another group to work. I got outsourced, but then when I got outsourced, I met other people, and then later on, they helped me find the job that I have today, which is 100 times better. So that was
I'm very
blessing in
glad for you.
disguise.
I'm so glad for you. Anyone else? Huh? Q&A. Okay, last chance.
Thank you, Master. She can think of it like, because when she trains someone, they're better than her, then she says, see, that's my baby. I trained them. So
Very good. I like this answer, but it's not what I'm looking for. See, you praise it and you slap on the wrist. Yes, number 3.
Hey, hello. So I think in this situation, she's stuck in an event of the past, and she hasn't really kind of evaluated the current situation. I mean, she stated it, but her mind is still stuck in that one instance of handing over the notes and helping one previous exam. But currently, the ranking is like she's at 2, and she wants to be number 1. So, I mean, you could even consider that if that person is still the number 1 person is still asking for the number 2 person for help, it's almost like taking advantage, maybe. So, it's like kind of evaluating the current situation from a fresh perspective, kind of like when the people were put out of a position by the people they trained, and they found a new opportunity that required them to see the present situation shifted, and instead of being stuck in that, oh, I lost my job because of that person, you have to look for the new opportunity.
You're all correct, by the way. All your answers are spot on, okay? However, what's lacking is what? Mary Jo, what's lacking? What are they missing? In this lady's question, her problem, you're not addressing her problem. You're addressing your problem. Your understanding is spot on. I agree. All your solutions or your explanations are very logical, very, very, very astute. But it's still not making her happy. Go ahead, 3.
I guess it's good for her to know where she's stuck.
Your answer is that of a therapist. Okay? No. Xian Tong, is she here? She's listening. Okay, anyway, okay. Here's my proposal to her. I agree with her 100%. Do not help all the way. Remain number 1. No need to help all the way. Help halfway. Go for it. Halfway. 3/4, but not 100%. You are right. Don't help them. Not 100%. Now she feels compelled to defend herself. See that? Go ahead. So obvious, right here in front of you. You want it? No, you have to be perfect. No, The solution doesn't have to be perfect.
사실 그래서 저는 어떤 방법을 썼었냐면 도와주긴 해야 되고 좋은 사람이어야 되고 좋은 이미지 메이킹을 해야 되니까 사회생활에서 저랑 격차가 많이 나고 저를 추월할 수 없는 사람들을 좀 도왔던 것 같습니다. 저의 솔루션은 지금까지는 그랬었습니다.
In society, I wanted to show people that I'm a good person. I want to show a good image to others. So what I did was I chose someone who cannot catch up with me.
I like this girl. She's so devious. Oh, good Lord. And she admits I'm that devious. That's why she married her husband. Did you know? Is he here? Oh, no. Very good. Okay, excellent. Her question is very reasonable. Her concern is very reasonable. Okay? And it's not just her. That's why I didn't like it when you all criticize her. You are unfair to my disciple. Okay? Let me explain to you. Go ahead, Q&A.
Dạ, mô Phật thưa Thầy, trước cái trường hợp của Jumi hỏi ra thì cái này con cũng nghiệm lại cái bản thân là thấy là khi mà mình muốn giúp người ta thì mình lại đem cái sự giúp đó là một cái sự kèm theo một cái bản ngã của mình, là mình muốn là mình thấy được là mình hơn, vì mình hơn người ta mà mình giúp người ta, và mình muốn người ta sẽ có thể tốt hơn nhưng mà không thể nào bằng mình được. Thành ra là con nghĩ là khi mà mình giúp là mình vẫn còn cái bản ngã trong đó thì nó sẽ không có đúng theo cái tinh thần Mahayana.
Yeah, absolutely. But try to explain that to Jumi. He said, I don't care. I just don't want to help. I still want the number one. Okay? Okay. You understand why I propose that answer? My answer is help 60% only. Why? Anyone has any children? Yeah? When you tell them to give a piece of candy, would they give all of it? Children don't understand. Hey, Jumi, I'm not calling you a child, okay? But have you ever taught children? This question is very good. She's very honest. She's brutally honest. Okay, I like this. Anyway, I like it. Okay, but it's so practical because there's some children who are like that. They said, I don't want to give away my candy. So what do? Then you say, let's negotiate. Can you give away something else? Huh? You don't want to give away all your marbles? How about just one marble? Sound familiar? How are you going to entice them to give unless you train them? That's what you're going to have to do to this woman. You tell her, it's okay, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I mean, you're number one. Why would you want anyone else to replace you? So give them only a little bit. Huh? Just give a little bit for now. Yes, 3.
When I got my first engineering job, I had a Vietnamese female boss. And she selected me for various reasons. I'm not sure why, but I'm grateful. But the funny thing is, when she started training me, she said, look, you get 3 questions a day, and that's it. No more, no less.
That's what we call the Jumi Syndrome. Okay? I give a clinical term. The Jumi Syndrome. The Jumi Complex. 8. Did you have anything to say?
Master, with regard to your previous analogy of taking a kid's marble, doesn't want to give up all the marbles, can you take one marble? That is not going to fly very well in esteem with that kid, because if you play marbles, you put a circle on the ground and you pop a marble trying to knock someone else's marble out. So if that person wasn't skilled enough to knock a marble out, why would we take my marbles that I gained fairly by knocking everybody else's marble out of the circle? It just shows an inherent unfairness.
I agree. I'm a marble player too. Go ahead, Q&A. Absolutely.
I was just going to comment that in my experience, I think once children start to learn how to sharing, they actually start to share more and more. And then I think in Jumi's case, she starts with helping some people. Maybe she thinks it's never
It
going
takes
to
a
catch
mother to notice it.
Yeah, and then over time she got used to it. She liked the feeling of giving, and then she started to help
Very
more
good.
and more, and then she will get 100% eventually.
It takes a father to notice it too. You understand? You missed the big picture. What is giving? Giving doesn't require you to give everything. Who told you you have to give everything? Are you crazy? If we tell you, give everything, what's your reaction? Are you crazy? You think I'm stupid? That's what Jumi would tell you. He says, I ain't giving everything. And I say, I agree with you. Don't give everything. Give partially. You've been doing well. You do it right. Give partially. That's great. So, but you giving. That's what giving is about. Just give. Whatever you can give. You get it? Who asked you to give 100%? No one is asking you to give 100%. I only ask you for 10% of your salary. Tithe. Can we start that? No way. See, even the guy say, I don't know you. I'm not going to give you my 10%. Not even 1%. What are you talking about? So the point here about the giving practice is to somehow get them to give. And this woman is going to give already. What is the problem? I don't see any problems. Why do you see a problem? I think she's doing great. Ching! So far, so good? Sounds right, Jumi, huh? You're giving, honey. You're great. And guess what happens? You teach children to give one marble. Pretty soon, he gets bored. What does he do? Here, I give you one more marble so that we can play some more. You know what I mean? And then 3 and 4 and so forth and so forth. Giving is incremental. It's not a theory at all. You have to start somewhere. She started somewhere and she said, I'm willing to give until 9, but not 10, not 100%. That's great. There's no problem. Just give. Keep giving. Okay? And eventually, when she's giving, guess what's going to happen? By giving 1, she gets more back. By giving 2, she gets even more back. To the point where she says, it's okay, now I can give everything. You have so much already. So I don't have to be number 1 anymore. You understand? So she will not change unless she has more blessings. She's insecure right now because she has to be number 1. But when you have so much, she says, I don't need to be number 1. I don't need you to know I'm number 1. I don't need to know I'm number 1. It doesn't matter to me. I have so much. Who cares? Today I drive a red car. Tomorrow I drive, even a better car. I have so many. It doesn't matter. I have 10 cars in my parking lot. You want one here? Take one. Bring it home. Drive. When you're tired, come back. I give you another one. You see what I mean? See, you look at this as a theory, from theoretical perspective. Mahayana, look at this as we say, start giving. And by starting to give, you become a better person yourself. And you give more and more and more. That's what this Dharma door is about. It's like a snowball. Once you start giving, the giving gets better and better and better. Get it? That's a paramita. Understand? This concubine, this woman here thinks paramita is so fixed. I have only 10 marbles. Okay? I want to have the only one that has the most marbles. No. When you give, you have even more marbles. And even more as you give. The more you give, the more you have. So that's going to happen naturally. So just encourage you to continue to give. That's all. So where's the problem? No problem. You all see problem. I see, oh, it's so beautiful. She's so generous. I hope she gives to me. Does it help? Very good. Patience. Number 3. Patience is, patience only counts as patience when you can't stand it. Okay? She's so annoying, but that still keep her around. Okay? That's patience. If you are not struggling, it's not called patience. And so I hear people complaining to me, and they don't realize when they complain and they still have something to complain about, what are they practicing? Patience. If you complain and the problem goes away, there's no patience to practice. Does it help? Patience only counts as something you can't stand. Now you don't like and you still have to put up with it. That's called patience. Okay, anything. Okay, that you don't like and you keep on going back to it and face it and confront it. And that's called patience. You become more patient every time you confront it. Okay, more and more and more patient. So it takes time. It's not something you say, I'm patient now. I'm done. I'm number 1 now. I'm number 1 in patience. Okay? No one can be number 1 because I'm more patient. And guess what? Yeah. You still have to be more patient. All right? Vigor. Vigor is, the scriptures explain vigors in a very scholarly way, and it makes sense. Okay, vigor here in practical terms, vigor is to not rest. Don't stop. Don't stop. Is there some kind of song along there? Yes. Question from Q&A.
Master, I've always wondered about this. The patience paramita in Chinese, it's a 忍辱. There's a strong, it's more like enduring shame or enduring humiliation. So I'm wondering if that's the emphasis, or the English patience seems like a broader concept. So the 忍辱 is just traditionally, culturally, it's kind of like classic examples, like people split on your face, you kind of just wait for it to dry. That's like the taking the humiliation. So could you elaborate on that?
Understand. Yeah, I understand. That's Chinese. We Americans don't do that. When some spits in our face, I see. In America, someone spits in our face. What do we do again? To practice patience in America? What do we do in America? The Chinese would say, okay, I hope the wind blows very soon because my face feels funny. You know what I mean? Your face is like, oh, yuck, it's running down your face. And the Chinese would sit there and wait for it to dry. Oh, God, how boring. I'm glad I'm not Chinese. It would kill me. Can you see yourself, Jim, that someone spits on your forehead and you let it rip down over your eyes, your nose, in your mouth, and go into your lips? I cannot do that. Okay, I practice patience differently than the Chinese. Anyone has an idea? My patience is someone spits in my face, I wipe it. I say, do it again. They spit in my face, I wipe it again. One more time. So we both practicing patience. Chinese are so boring, don't you think? I mean, I don't think it's practical. Kim Deung, you agree? I mean, how could you let that thing, and you can smell, I don't know, he ate like garlic or something today. That's too much. It's better ways to practice patience, I feel. Yes, 8. Chun is very Chinese, you know this. Yeah. Anyone? Any comment? Okay, yeah, conceptually, yes, 8.
Master, I can tell you. Do you know what the U.S. Marine Corps does to train their recruits with the pugil sticks? Those are those long sticks.
I don't know. Pray
that
tell.
Are padded.
Pray tell us.
And you'll get in a ring with the other person, and you're told to hit each other with them. And they're padded, and you're wearing a helmet. Real fat padded, and you're not going to seriously hurt anybody. And if you're not aggressive enough, the drill sergeant will get in there and grab you both by the face guards and pull your faces together and hold you until you begin spitting on each other's face. And then when you're terribly irate, he'll release you to fight again.
And that's patience.
No, I think that's the opposite of patience.
No wonder we're so safe. Okay? So patience, don't do it the Chinese way. Let the Chinese do it their way. We do it ours. Okay? I propose we get a lot of Kleenexes and I challenge you to do again. Okay? Vigor, and then vigor, don't rest. You gotta keep trying. Don't rest. Don't quit. Okay? One of in our temple is don't quit. We're so demanding. It's so much more to do, and more tomorrow, and more tomorrow. You can complain all you want, as long as you don't quit. Okay? Number 5, samadhi. Samadhi is improvement. Okay? You want to do anything important, you need to have samadhi. Okay? And number 6, wisdom. Wisdom is to be able to solve your problems. Solve the thing why someone refuses to give 100%. So the first 6 are the core 6 paramitas, which include the next 4 as well. So typically, the Chinese, they only memorize Indian Chinese only memorize the first 6. Okay? 6 years is important because if any of you feels unhappy, feels he or she is unhappy, is suffering, this wisdom we're here, if they have wisdom, the suffering stops instantaneously. You put an end to it immediately. That's a function of wisdom. That's a use of wisdom. What pain? Boom, gone. What suffering? Disappears. Okay? Because of the nature of wisdom. All right? And then if you want to go to advanced levels, okay? And then you go to the next 4. Next 4 are built in, but for those who are more skilled and are more impatient, they will go into the practice of expedience, which is a necessity for you to help others. You want to help others, whether you are a salesman or a therapist, you have to know expedience. That's required to help others. Okay? That is why for Bodhisattvas, until you reach the level where you practice expedience, you can't really help others yet. Okay? And then you make vows. Vows, I explained to you. A vow is you enlarge your horizons. You make bigger and bigger vows. So the vision becomes more all-encompassing, eventually become as big as the universe. If you don't make vows, you never become a Buddha, in other words. So far, so good? So 7 through 10 are the details for advanced practices. If you do first 6 only, the 7, 8, 9, 10 are included in 6, but not as explicitly. Whereas when you advance, say, I'm in a hurry, I need to go, I need to do more quickly, time is running out, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So you need to practice expedience, you practice vows, okay? You dare go to no man has ever been before, that kind of thing, vows. Power, okay, you develop real strength to make a difference. You don't just talk, okay? You move mountains, okay? You dry up oceans, You move earth, you make rain, okay? And those are real. And then finally, knowledge. Knowledge is the culmination of it, meaning that you go back to the world and truly contribute and advance, extend the boundaries of human knowledge. So for example, I was starting to tell you a story where, when you reach a certain level, then it's perfectly okay. And I have no problems. My disciples go and learn Tai Chi or Qigong and all those things, because they will not be. When they get stuck, I say, "Oh, you're stuck there." I say, "Oh, you're right." They recognize right away where they're stuck, so it's no more danger. Okay. Whereas if you are not ready, you learn those things and you try to tell you, and someone tells you, you're stuck there, and say, "What are you talking about? I get so much out of it. You're just jealous of my success." So, 2.
Albert Taylor from New York says, Maitreya Buddha lets it dry. It says it in the passage. Lets the spit dry.
I'm not at Maitreya level yet. I admit, okay, thank you. I need to know my place. My Dharma door is a Dharma door Kleenex. Anyone else? I appreciate the input. That's a very, very valid point. Maitreya, is he Chinese or what? Okay. So the knowledge here, to me, the knowledge here is you give back in a very significant way. You go back and learn architecture, and you advance the field architecture. You learn mathematics, you advance the field mathematics. You learn to play golf, and you advance the world of golf. So you really contribute to the world. Because we're supposed to. We find better ways to build bridges and roads. Okay? Solve the problems of climate change. Anyone? Huh? I hope someday a Bodhisattva shows up and say, hey, I have a solution for you. Costs nothing. Right now, we have a solution for COVID-19. No one buys it. No one believes us. So what the heck are we going to do? But I hope someone can say, hey, this climate thing is so easy. Let's do this, and it fixes it. Okay? So that's knowledge. Knowledge is to solve problems, worldly problems that cannot be solved. Okay, so we all become better. We all, number one becomes more number one. Number two becomes more number two. Okay, does it help? So this Buddhist practice here, you look at it, you don't have to call it Buddhist. If you do all these things, okay, you do charity work, that's giving. You help the lepers, that's giving. It doesn't matter how you call it. I pray to God and I help the lepers. So doesn't matter. Okay, we're not stuck on words. It's what benefits others get from our actions. That's what matters. All right? Any other questions? Okay. 9, adornment. Okay. Adornment is a natural consequence of great results. Goodness is adorned. When a couple stays together, when they first got married, he is so handsome. And by the time he's a little bit older, he has a pot belly, and the hair is almost gone. And she still loves him. Okay? They still love. Unlike concubine. Concubine is different. But for the rest of us, love. There's such people to look into the spouse and say, you are so much more beautiful than before because your heart grew bigger than before. And mine too, because I begin to see the difference in your heart, because unless mine is also bigger. So goodness, let me tell you, is beauty. That's why goodness adorns. If you do all these good things in life, you're adorning the world. You do something good and nice for your family member, you're adorning your house. You're adorning your relationship. It's not about, now we go back to the prior question about being number one. Being number one does not necessarily mean you are the prettiest. Get it? It's better to be number one in goodness. Doesn't have to be number one. Only have to be number one in goodness. That's all that matters. Number one will change. Okay? You become older. Whoa, your skin will be so wrinkled. Furrows here. You have to go see that plastic surgeon and stretch your neck 10 times to look young. Okay, it gets harder and harder to be number one, honey. It gets harder, let me tell you. When you get a little bit older, you know what I mean. Okay? But that number one in your heart, you become a good person, number one good person, you're so beautiful. Your husband looks at you and says, oh my God, how come you're so beautiful every day? Let me sing a song to you. Let's go out to eat. Can I buy you a new car? I will tear up the prenup. I was wrong. Now I love you more than before. Before you were number one, but now you're truly number one. See? Keep giving, honey. See? Give her what they want. That's Buddhism. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll stop here today.